Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show live stream. Appreciate you guys being in here. Got one game to look at today. Got those, who we've got today. The Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves are going in game 6 here. So that means we get to look at pretty much every prop if we want to in this game. I'll take a look at what you guys want. Got a couple of you in here already. What's good, G-Bag? And Street Cred. Got Richard Lockhart in here too. So if you are new, jump in the comments with a bet. Let me know what you guys want to look at. We'll get into that together. I'll give you some of the tools that I'm using to find my bets each day. Been cold lately. I'm not going to lie. Whatever that does for you, the last 2 days have been kind of brutal. The last week didn't have the best week so far. So we got to pick it back up here a little bit. The live stream's been doing all right. I'm not going to lie. In terms of the bets that we pull from here together, been doing all right there. I am going to share my screen. I didn't have time to make a graphic for it. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of what we've had lately because it's been a bit tough. Basically, Tuesday, Wednesday were not good days. So I want to show you guys those and then get into the picks that I already put out. So if you are subscribed to the page, you saw the video already that I put out earlier today. I might be waiting a little bit during these playoffs instead of the night before. Might be getting these videos out the morning of, like they were today, around about 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern, in that range. At least we'll know things like Mike Conley's likely to play now. That I needed that information to give bets. You know what I mean? So rather than just try to force stuff out, I might give some projections the night before. But with the playoffs, like who's playing and these injury reports being what they are every day, just got to kind of wait for them. So still letting people roll in. What's good, Daryl? And got Derek in here too. 36 Chambers. We need that bounce back, bro, for sure. There were some tough bets yesterday, man. Gafford hit for us. It was Garland that was just terrible. Under points, which I feel you on that one. I haven't bet the Joker points at all, so I like that look from you, Joshua Taylor. Let me put some stuff up in the comments right now. I was just sort of complaining to not even complaining, just commiserating almost apologetically about the way that things have been going for me the last couple days. Just to show you what I mean real quick, let me pull that up in a sec. And then I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I don't want to come across as trying to hoodwink anybody. When we're in these live streams together, it's most important that obviously we're finding bets together and that we have stuff covered at all angles. When it comes to those videos the night before, need to be a little bit better. But we'll look at Jokic assists, and we'll look at points too. I'm putting that in here. That was the look from Joshua Taylor, was the thought that he's not going to have quite as many points. What's good, Larry? What's good, Waffles? Let's see real quick. Josh was coming in with Gordon assist too. Yeah, I think that's been a popular play today. Let's look at Gordon. I'm going to put stuff on here just to specifically look at what you guys want to, but know that we're probably going to go through damn near everybody. And Kyrie, what's your deal, bro? I don't even know. Papa Al killed us. That was a brutal look. He came with it in the last game of the series. Got all his stuff in those minutes. So what's good, Free Sauce? Good to have you in here always, bro. I'm going to put a couple more up here. I got Gordon assists up. Carlin was brutal, dog. MPJ rebounds. All right, we can take a look at that, Ramon. We should put that in there. At least get MPJ on the card. I know some people probably want to look at the 3-pointers for him as well. MPJ, I'll put the rebounds. I'm less scared of rebounds these days than points/threes with him. And I think we can look at points, but man, like when he doesn't make his threes, he doesn't really get the points, to be honest. Let's see. Got KCP overlook. All right. Flo Farrell's looking at assists and rebounds for Conley. That's usually the better play for our guy. I really want to back him, man. It's another thing of like, how healthy is he? Is he giving it a go because it's game 6 and they're on the brink of elimination? Or is Conley really good to go? And that's why he's playing. Because like when I hear Solaris, whatever, the ligament attached from your calf to your Achilles, and that's what's hurting you when you're a veteran. Yeah, that's my biggest fear in the world is the Achilles tear. So let's see. We got to look at Cat. Let me get him in here just because you guys are reminding me. Everybody got to put in here, so I appreciate it. We'll look at Cat assists was the look right there, I believe. Assists and rebounds from DeJuice about Cat's stuff. No way, dude. Yeah, I hit him on the threes, Richard, but that's a tough beat, man. That dude, Struce, just if it's not threes for him these days, bruh, gets killed. We got the RA for Cat. That's what I'm putting in here as a look. All right, let me go through what I've got real quick because I also got some futures. So I'm going to let people keep rolling in. I'll come back to the comments in a minute and see what you guys make sure I'm not missing anything. I am going with Ant, though. I'm taking an Ant bet here. I'm going over on the threes. That's my preferred bet for Ant. The points should be there, but I like the threes because I still think he's going to take more than 5 like he did last game. He should be back up to about 8. That's what he was taking the games before. I've been changing it up a little bit. I was watching tape of this game. I watched every possession for both teams in a condensed form, but like every possession. And when Ant was getting double teamed, he should have got the ball back. And with Conley in there, that's what I'm banking on. Like, it's not like, oh, Conley in, Ant more points. In fact, on the season, Ant, when he played with Conley, fewer points per game, fewer assists per game, all that stuff. That's not what this is about anymore. This is about the game plan going in for each coach. And if you like, look, the Nuggets are going to double Ant. They're still going to bring the same looks. They'll switch it up here and there. You can't just be like, oh, because they did it this game, they're going to adjust and not do it anymore. They're still going to double Ant. And it's really up to the Wolves to get out of those double teams. And part of that is Ant passing the ball to the wing. And when he passes the ball to the wing, the defense shifts with the ball. Now that the defense is shifted to one side of the floor, Ant needs to get the ball back and go to the other side of the floor and make quick movements. So there's a lot of stuff that I saw he could do better to beat double teams, including pulling up from three a bit more and not being as scared of that, especially if he's got like Brown and Murray and some combo of dudes that he's bigger than. He needs to put that ball up, and I'm very confident he will. What he said to the ball boy in Denver was, I'll see you for game 7, the Denver Nuggets ball boy after that game 5 loss. That's some baller stuff. So we're going to take Ant to go back. I did put a half unit on the points because I knew it was going up, and I got it at 29.5 or even money basically on DraftKings rather. I think you got to take 30.5 now for Ant. In which case I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But I'd almost rather just sprinkle a little bit for like plus 220 for him to get the 35 points at that point, just because we're so close to it. But bet that how you will. I got a few futures in here too. But one more that I like a lot is Jokic to go under the turnovers. I put a half a unit on that because we get plus 125 on our money. This stuff's all in the Discord. If you're not yet in there, jump in the description of the video. If you want the link to that, you can just jump in the Discord right now for free. But that's where I gave that out earlier today. I've got to fix one thing here. My bad. We are fixing, this. All right. Yeah. So come on. So for finishing up the point here, our dude was just on one yesterday. I mean, you can call that one of the best performances you've ever seen, championship or playoffs or not. Nobody in the history of the NBA in whatever game they're playing has gotten 40 points, 13 rebounds, 7 dimes, all without a turnover. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going back to it because he did this last game with no turnovers, but he figured something out after the first 2 games. He had 11 turnovers in those first 2, 7 and 4, and then 7 between the last 3. Now he got 4 turnovers in one of these games, and I believe it was game 4. But he was putting up a lot more shots in this recent game. I still think shots are coming. If they double him, he's, like I said, figured out a lot enough to wait for that double. Let it actually come because you can still pass out of it, especially with Cat being the primary defender, with Rudy coming to help. And so the one other reason that they've limited his turnovers, Aaron Gordon is now taking the ball up. Aaron Gordon is also initiating the screens on the pick and roll. Jokic has the ball. Gordon is going up and being the screener for Jokic, and that brings Rudy out and away, out of the passing lanes. He's no longer a threat to get those steals. So that's a big reason why I like Jokic. Like I said, this is me watching the film and going, I think this is how they adjust, and I think this is why we see what we see happening here in Game 5. A lot different than the first 4 games. So trying to turn around that losing streak. I'll go over that record real quick. But a couple of futures that I want to put out there, and like I said, I gave these in the Discord. Western Conference Finals MVP next round, still taking Jokic to get that. Got 1.1 units to win 1 back. NBA Finals MVP, I like the Nuggets to win it. It's like freaking Bitcoin for me, bro. At this point, it's just like, all right, they haven't moved the odds. It's still plus 225 for the Nuggets to win the championship. Here's another unit on it, I guess, because I've believed in it all season. And up until now, why would I stop if they're still giving me the same price? So that's what I keep taking for him, the championship for them, the MVP for him. Come on, who's going to win it? Who's going to win the MVP? I mean, Murray had 10 assists a game last finals, and that's not, it's Jokic. Like, he's the engine that makes it run. The whole narrative is around him. He's the MVP of the league. There's nothing really that gets in your way. If you think Boston's going to win, all right, I guess Jason Tatum. I don't think Boston's going to win. If OG Anunoby plays, he's not going to play on Friday, tomorrow, but he might play in this next series. I don't want to face this. Like, Knicks fully healthy, I think they win a series against Boston, but that's another story. Either way, Porzingis, he might be a little bit healthier. I've been looking into it more. It does seem like he's at least like running and able to like move up and down a basketball court, which is more than can be said for OG, I believe. But still, that injury, if he's not in there, they're going to struggle mightily with whichever center that they're facing at this point. Dallas and OKC, I'm not worried about them versus the Nuggets. This is the team right now that they're playing that maybe had a chance to beat them in the West. Not too worried about that. This last one is silly to me. I mean, if you believe in Boston, great, but you have to believe in Boston a lot to take Boston over the field. Like, I don't know why they want us to take plus 120 for the field when we have 4 teams in the West that I all think could beat Boston in the finals. That's where I'm at with that. So if you're giving me plus 120 when I already have money on the Nuggets to win this thing, and I really believe in them, and I think they're better than the Celtics, and they're a part of the field that I get for plus 120, I've got like 4 bites at the apple, technically 5 if the Eastern Conference team in the finals can beat the Celtics before they get to the NBA finals. But either way, these are a couple of the futures. So I got those locked in. Just wanted to make sure you guys do it. And I still have a ton of money on the Nuggets to win it all. So do with that what you will. I want to start sharing my screen with you guys. I'm going to be using props.cash. Quick reminder, if you do still need a props.cash code, you can get one over here for 25% off. LYB24 is the code right there that you can see. That gets you 25% off the first month. So I really, that's what I'll be using. So if you think it's helpful for you, like I said, then you can jump in, get that. Discord's live as well. Let me pull this up real quick and show you my screen as well so that we can take a look at what you guys want to look at. Plus, I want to show you this record so nobody thinks I'm trying to come at you incorrectly here. I'm never ashamed to admit that I'm on a cold streak, and part of that is probably needing to switch it up a little bit when it comes to this the strategies that I'm using. So sharing this real quick, this is what the last couple of days looked like. Over the last week, we are down roughly 5 units, which is very bad, as you can see here. But for Tuesday and Wednesday, this is not good. You don't want this. I'm in the middle still of like calculating the losses on my bet sheet. All that stuff is linked in the Discord as well. But at the risk of having people dip out, like what we're doing here is learning together, like, and hopefully you're picking something up from me. I take all the looks that you guys have and use them. More eyes the better on all these different lines. But that's the point, is we're trying to like get better here with this stuff. So if you're like coming here to just tail these picks, it's a free Discord. Like, there's no reason to do that. There's lots of stuff going on. I prefer that people come in. If you like what I'm betting, bet it. And if you don't just be like, well, this dude knows more about sports betting than I do, so I'm going to take it. It's like, no, that's not how it works. This is like, that's why I love sports betting. It takes 2 people and books and everybody, and it just puts them against each other and goes, who can do this? Who's right today? That's basically it. So off my pedestal at this point, let me my soapbox more than pedestal. Let me get into props.cash. I'll have the record on the next video here tonight so that we can keep it going. But I'm going to jump back in these comments real quick before I start putting stuff together and see what y'all are looking at. What's good, Aramis? Good to have you in here, sir. Let me throw Wolves first quarter bet on the Wolves. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. If you that makes sense, honestly, that the Wolves will come out super strong, right? So I agree with that one. Both McDaniels and Brown for over on the rebounds coming in from Steven. I put Brown in my at 2.5, and then it went away from 2.5. So I didn't give it out on my channel. I gave it out on thelines.com because I recorded that video at an earlier time when I was able to give out 2.5 rebounds for Christian Brown, but that's gone. So we're going to have to see about him for the 3.5 rebounds. Plus, there was a look for another short dude for rebounds, right? McDaniel's not short, but yeah. McDaniel's rebounds, that has not been hitting, man. McDaniel's kind of went into a funk, and honestly, like, his downgrade in play has been a big reason why the Nuggets have come back, in my opinion. Mr. Cashout likes Murray in the first quarter. I'm a bit worried about Murray in the game for points, to be honest. But let's look at his first Q stuff and see if there's anything there. That's probably a bit of, once again, this is the playoffs. So this isn't just like, what's he done? What do the numbers say? This is also like, what's the situation? What's the context of this game? Because this game is going to be different than any other game he's played at this point, right? My bad. I'm just trying to get the lighting here. All right. So let's keep it moving. Let me see if there's a couple more before I get into it. Yeah. Thank you, Alec. That's where I'm at with Boston. They might prove me wrong this season, but I'm off it, bro. Let's we got McDaniels, Brown rebounds. We got Boston overrated. Jokic first quarter points. We can look at that. I can't. He was pretty aggressive last game, right? Let me just specify that we want to look at some 1Q stuff with Mr. Jokic. Saving that. All this stuff's coming up next. Check out the stuff on the bottom line as well. I got Rjax as a lean. I want to get back into that and look. So I'll do that in a minute. And I'm just going to see, I think I missed a couple. I don't think I put KCP in. Let me do that. And I don't know if I put Conley in yet. So let me do that. All right. And you guys brought these up first. So let me bring that. Let me try to go in order so that I'm not like skipping over people. We got Conley on the RA. Take a look at that. And we got the other one that I already forgot because I'm a freaking dipshit is KCP. KCP. And did you want to look at threes? What we got for KCP real quick? Maybe some KCP boards. What's up? Yo, 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 yo. KCP over threes and points. Okay, so yeah, that's from the Juice. I want to take a look at that. Phil Farrell gave me Conley and assists and rebounds. So looking at KCP, did you say it? You said points and threes. Thank you. Jesus Christ. 3 points, 3-pointers, slash points in general. All right. And I mean, I think if he goes over the points, if he goes over the threes, he goes over the points. So whichever one gives you the better juice usually, but obviously points a little bit safer. He can score however he wants, which has been mostly threes. What's hilarious is he airballed his only miss in game 5. He was 4 for 5, and his only miss didn't touch anything but air. Let's look at this game now. I'm going into props.cash, and I'm starting with, real quick, just the one thing I wanted to say about Reggie Jackson. He is a lean. I'll look at him in a minute, but just make sure you know, like, Reggie Jackson's on my radar. I do think there's probably more news coming out about Jamal Murray. I don't know if he's still questionable. Let me pull this over real quick, and so we can just see the notifications together. No, there's nothing about him yet, so we'll keep an eye on that. If you guys can help me with that, obviously that's much appreciated. I've got the box score here. This is me watching film of this game over here. All right, and so I'm looking at Jokic to start. So for Jokic, like it's once again, it's contextual, bro. But I don't even think I'm allowed to show these clips. I think I would get in trouble if I just like play these highlights. Although this is League Pass, let's try it. I'd rather get my hands. So for Jokic, let me see if I can pull up one of these highlights for Joker. It's really simple for Jokic. It's basically just, and I'm not going to do this because I'm gonna have to find these time codes. If I want to do that, I'll be better prepared to show you these highlights, and then I'll get my wrist slapped. But for Jokic, it's going to come down to what do you think is going to happen in this game as an adjustment, because that's what we keep talking about in the Discord. Is like I love the back and forth that we were having in the Discord. I was watching more than participating, but the conversation was basically, just do things stay the same? Does Jokic get doubled now? Do they force the ball out of his hands? That's part of the look that I've got right here, which is the assist for Joker, right? So last game, what you like to see is, and this is part of why I don't think he's going to get the turnovers. I think he's going to go under on the turnovers, which we still get plus money for, scrolling on the bottom line, in case you're wondering about that bet. But for Jokic, 3.5 turnovers, it's actually up to plus 125 I took it on 365. Looks like BetMGM has it at plus 125 as well. The assists tied to the turnovers, because he's most likely to turn it over when he's trying to make a pass, right? But let's start with the potential assists. So played 41 minutes last game. Potential assists were at 18, right? This is a little bit more it for me. This is where I expect him to be, is about 15, 16. And this has been him all playoffs long. As you can see here, they played 10 games in the playoffs, so it's all 10 right here. And this has been the storyline, 15 potential assists. And when he gets to that like 15 number, he's good for 9. So I'm trying to see if there was one that he did not get. So there was one game where he went for 15 potentials and didn't get 9 actual assists, right? It's right here in this game 2 versus Minnesota, where everybody missed everything for this squad and they just sucked beyond belief. So I still think the assists are a good look. Whoever brought that up, I appreciate it, because I think the assists are a little bit better of a play. You'll notice I have Ant to get his points. I don't have Jokic to get his, even though we just saw him take how many shots he took last game? FGA 22. So he's at 26, 22 shots for the playoffs, 20. In this series, though, a bit more, right? If we just do the last 5 games instead of the last 10, his field goal attempts in these games, so it's at 20.8. So I think 20 is a fair assumption for him. I think, yes, he can easily get 30 points on 20 to 21 shots for Joker. But it does reason to believe that, like, you can't just let him score 40 again. You can't let him score 35 again. Like, they don't have a chance if that's the case. They won game 3 with him hitting 24, but that was a Jamal Murray game. And I'm still a little bit questionable about how healthy Murray actually is. I think that should be, like, at least taken into consideration here. He was questionable on the injury report for a little bit. And I mean, all that tells me is like he's going to play, but like there's at least an injury going on. I don't think he looks the same. And it's really for Murray to get the points, he does need to hit the threes. But now, like I'm saying, like what I like about the passing for Jokic, and the reason I like the assists a bit more here, which they're at minus 138. So we kind of lose the edge on the assists at this point. And I don't know if the double is going to give you anything because he's clearly going to get the board. He's at 11 and a half. Well, he's not clearly going to get the 10 rebounds, but he's at 11 and a half rebounds. So you're not going to get any juice for that. I stayed away from Joker in this game, be honest, because I think that there's, like I said, other than the turnovers, I think there are corrections coming because I don't think they can let him get the points. I would prefer to go under on the points and over on the assists for Jokic this game, but that's just how I'm leaning. I haven't bet that, and I'm not going to force it. So let me put this in here as the leans. That's why we have the damn column now, so that I don't feel the need to just force bets with you guys. We got Jokic over 8.5 assists is the lean, and then under the 29.5. Is it 28 still, or did it go up to 29 somewhere? It's 29 in most spots, I believe, right? FanDuel might be hanging at 28, minus 122. I would still go under between the two of those, like at 28, 29, whatever. But under on the points is kind of where I'm at, and I'm not betting either of those. I can tell you that right now. But if you want to ask me about Jokic points and assists and the difference between them, that's how I get there with it. So let's see. I didn't put yes. I'm gonna look at Aaron Gordon. So let me see. I'll put the PA in there for him as well. Free sauce bringing that look. What do I have right now for Gordon? I've just got the assist. I'll add the points in there. In fact, I mean, we should just look at it all for him, honestly, and we will. Rebounds, assists, points, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. We're good on that. Save that. So yeah, I'm gonna take Joker out of here because that's where I'm at with him. I've stayed away. Oh, and you wanted to look at the first quarter as well. I'll bring that up real quick while I erase this, and then we'll look at Gordon's stuff. Because yeah, the first quarter, it's pretty easy to look at that and just decipher, do we think he's going to be taking the shots aggressively early? So first quarter in this series, he is averaging 8.2 a game. He's at the 7.5 once again, which makes sense. Now the last two, he's come out firing, as we know, and like honestly, like he just likes doing that against Rudy. How many did he take in this game where he got game 3 over here? He played the full quarter. He took 4 shots. So he didn't really get aggressive with the shooting until he took 7 in each of the last 2 games, which I like. Like I'm with that. If he's taking 7 shots, yeah, I'd like him to make 4 of those, to be honest. Maybe you throw, I don't think you throw 3 in there. He doesn't necessarily shoot those threes early. He got 5 free throws last game. That was helpful. He took a lot of shots last game and the last 2. I mean, even though that says 7 free throw attempts, you don't get a free throw attempt against you if you are sent to the free throw line, unless you make the and 1. So you take 7 and you probably make it 9 field goal attempts, but 2 got fouled on. And for the 5, you probably make that 3 trips to the line. I mean, you do make it at least 3 trips to the line. So that's 10 field goal attempts getting fouled on, like, yeah, a bunch of them, right? So I think the first quarter look is live. It's just, there's no reason to, I mean, 7 should be the norm for him. When he's played 12 minutes, he only went under once, and he shot the ball 4 times. I guess other dudes were doing work in the first quarter too. There was a Michael Porter Jr. first quarter, and there was a Aaron Gordon first quarter where they both kind of went off and got the points in the quarter. So you can't worry about that. I think it's a pretty decent play, but I'm staying. Like I said, I'm staying away from the specificity of that. I need to play some safe bets here moving forward. Stop throwing these units around willy nilly. First quarter bets for him mostly hit at 7.5. 51%, not much of an edge there with the juice that you have to eat or drink, whatever. So let's move on to Aaron Gordon. And like I said, the thing about Aaron Gordon, let's see if I can show you this with the box scores real quick, because you can see touches and all that kind of stuff right in the box scores themselves. So I'm going to go into game 5 for a minute. I'm gonna go through a couple of these, but let me start with game 5. And then we'll go backwards real quick. So game 5 and then game 4. But game 5, what I want to see real quick inside the box score, I'm going to change this to player tracking, and I'm going to see real quick for Aaron Gordon. So he had the second most touches on the team in this last game, right? More than Jamal Murray by about 5. And that's because he is now bringing the ball up. And that's been the case for the past 2 games at least, I believe. Obviously, Jokic is a madman, touches the ball 127 times, because it's like if he doesn't touch the ball 1 possession, that whoever took to the shot without letting him touch it's probably coming out. Looking at the box score from game 4, I want to make sure I'm still on the right track here. So in game 4, he had 69 touches. Nice. And then Murray had 72. But still, the fact that they're even that close, right, when Gordon is usually a guy that gets it and shoots it and is not doing as much with it, that does lead you to still like the assists. Just want to take a look at one more real quick so I can see when when do the numbers say that he really started taking the ball up more consistently, and also just being like designated with the task of passing a bit more. So in this game, this is game 3 here. Gordon with 60 touches, Jamal with 77. So he still wasn't quite playing the same role yet, right? It was games 4 and 5 where his touches went up. Let's look at his potential assists real quick. Going to go to Ago. Let's not make this first quarter. Let's go full game. Let's go playoffs. So I'm looking at Aaron Gordon in the playoffs. The points been there 4 of the 5, obviously. The rebounds only been there the last 2, and the assists have been there for 4 out of 5 as well. The assists are still a good play. It's just juiced all the way down to minus 158 if you want to go over 3.5. That obviously sucks. You can get a pretty good number to go over on 4.5 if you think he's going to get 5, which has been right around what he's getting here in this series. So in the last 5 here at 4.8 per game, playing enough minutes, he's always going to get 33. Obviously, that's his floor. And then the potential assist, that's what makes you a little nervous. Like, he's getting good looks for other guys, but 6 potential assists to get 5, 7 to get 5, 11 to get 6, 8 to get 6. Like, all these high assist games for him are really, there's a lot of assists coming on not very many potentials. So that always makes you a bit nervous. Obviously, the ball is going to keep coming out of his hands in a good way because he's, like I said, playing more facilitator. And the potentials haven't really gone up, though. Now, in the last 2, yeah, even 6 in the last game, doing a bit more scoring. So if you're going to take the assist, what's the PA at? So the points are 12.5. Really? No, this is wrong, right? Am I completely tripping? Hold on. Let me go to my prop finder tool to see what I'm talking about here with Aaron Gordon's assist prop, or points too. Okay, so 12.5 is still live, and his points and assists are at 17.5. That's high, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you can get 3.5 for his, this comes out to 16. So 17.5 is a ripoff on the same book. Let me just go to FanDuel directly and just make 1,000% sure that that's what they're showing us. But that doesn't make any sense. Like, to go over on the PA might be a ripoff. That's what I would consider. So we're going into the Nuggets game here. Player points for Aaron Gordon, 12.5 at minus 28. The assists for Aaron Gordon are 3.5 for minus 158. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I use hood math, but 12.5 plus 3.5 is 16. It's not 7. It's not 18. So for him to get 18 is 2 more than his props individually. That's a ripoff. Now, maybe on other books it's a little bit better, but his PA, like, it's 18.5 on MGM. It's 16.5 on DK. So that would be where you take it if that's actually the book, the number 2. I'll just make sure. These things have been changing hella quick today with Mike Conley news and all that kind of stuff. So that's why we got to go directly to the book a lot. I'm pulling up player points for Ago. 12.5 minus 130. Assists 3.5 minus 160. It's already better on FanDuel, but when you put them together, it's way more worth it here on DraftKings than it is on FanDuel. Let me just collapse. Right? Yeah, collapse that. Collapse points and rebounds. Points and assists. So he's at 16.5 or minus 125. That's what it should be, is 16.5. So FanDuel's dicking you on the math, to be honest with you. I'm not ready to go under in a big game for one of the 3 most important players on the floor for this team. If Jamal is hurt, you're going to see Ago go up in stats. I believe that. But yeah, I think you all got to be careful when you do that stuff. If you take the combos, you got to make sure that the combined number here for his 2 stats still gives you value, because this is on DraftKings. All right, minus 125 over 16.5. That's a look. That's how I would play that before I played the under for sure. Let me look at the rebounds real quick to see if we should be adding those in there. So I'm gonna go back to props.cash and pull up boards. They now have rebound chances, which I'm sure if you've been on here before, you've heard me talk about plenty. Very important to understand how often they're able to get boards. Him guarding Cat, right? He be guarding Cat. Hold on, let me go back to this real quick. Also, make sure that you know about matchups. So I can go into the box score and go change traditional to matchups. I can put Aaron Gordon or whomever I want on defense to see who they guard. So I'm going to put Aaron Gordon on defense and filter the minutes, or just reorganize the minutes so it prioritizes the most. So he's guarding Cat. All right. He's guarding Cat. Cat's been kind of eating him alive at times, to be honest with you, when he's not getting into foul trouble and taking terrible shots. Not a fan of Karl Anthony Towns. Sorry to all the Cat fans out there. But all right, 547. Yeah, so he's guarding Cat. So he'll be all over the place to get the boards. Now, honestly, like, Cat plays all over the floor. That doesn't really matter. Usually when I'm looking at rebounds and I'm looking at the matchups, it's to see where these dudes are standing on the floor. What's good, Joe? Good to have you, bro. I know it's been a tough couple of days for me. So you might have come. Hopefully, you came at the time where we're about to trend upward instead of the shit cold streak I've been on the last 2 days, and honestly, last like 5 days. There's been 2 winning days there in the last 5, so we need to up that game. But rebound chances for our boy. So they were really low in the first 3, and then he upped it in the last 2, and getting a lot of rebounds on not as many chances. I mean, 10 out of 14, that's fine. 7 out of 9, really high hit rate. Usually like 62 to 65% is usually the best hit rate you're going to get for the top rebounders. AD was crazy in the playoffs, but that was about it, who was an outlier. So it's still a bit nerve-wracking. Like the rebound chances went up a bit too because they missed shots so many in game 5. If you think that the offense is going to increase and get better for this, who am I talking about? For the Timberwolves this game, then yeah, that if there's less rebound chances with more made shots, that's just obvious. So I'm gonna put in here that if you are taking Aaron Gordon, that the way to play, and this is gonna be under leans as well. But if you're playing Ago, the way to go is points and assists over 16.5, which is on DK only. But I think that's the best way to play him. The rebounds at 6.5 now, right? Yeah, 6.5 for plus money. That's tough to come by. You saw the rebound chances were only at 9 right here. Still a really high chance. I think the fact that he's had averaged, I'm going back down to rebound chances. He's averaged 8. I think that's fair. I think he probably would average a bit more, but this is probably more of an outlier. So I think 8 to 10 is probably what you project his rebound chances to be at. I can't guarantee you how many rebounds he'll get off that, but that is what I would project his chances to sit at. All right, we got Gordon on there as a lean as well. And moving into Mike Conley. And by the way, I'm not really scared of the points for Aaron Gordon. If you want to add those in there, that's why I didn't hit on that very much. But he's shooting from very close to the basket. And part of this is my belief that Jokic has figured out this defense, right? And he's put together enough of a game plan that, like, with Michael Malone and the rest of the team, that now they know where to be rather than just standing in the passing lanes, hoping that the ball comes to them. They're finding the right spots on the floor. And you see guys like Christian Brown getting a big boost off of that too, with who we'll talk about here in just a minute. Let's see. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate that, Jeffrey. Those are my go-to. Let me see if I can find any more of those head-to-heads now that we've got some more props up. I'm actually going to interrupt myself to talk about that. Yeah, we're going to get Christian Brown on there. NBA, what's good, man? Good to have you in here. I got the Conley up, KCP. I can move Brown up too. MPJ we'll talk about. But I do want to move Christian Brown up because he has been a big difference maker. Let's see. Yeah, if you can get Cat. So, oh, what's up, Daft? Yeah, he likes Zesty Cat to go under today. That's the Cat Whisperer. Pause. But no, he is the Cat Whisperer. I did not even mean to do that, but that is a wonderful nickname. You can call him the Cat Whisperer. Damn, that's fire. New nickname. I'm about to trademark that. Don't even try to take it. The Cat Whisperer. You can have it, Daft, actually, because you are the Cat Whisperer. So let us know if Daft is going under, then I'm going under on Cat. I already learned my lesson, and I was with you on the last one. But yeah, I think it's a zag after the zig with Cat. Can he put together 2 games in a row like that? Maybe, to be honest. Like, he was shooting well, but he was also aggressive, and I don't think Aaron Gordon can handle Karl Anthony Towns. That might be a dude that's a bit more actually stronger than Aaron Gordon. Is that crazy to say that someone's that much stronger than Aaron Gordon? It might be the case. I'll move Christian Brown up, but I was interrupting myself to look at these head-to-heads real quick. Because I'm 4-0 in the playoffs now when they started giving us these head-to-head bets. So you can see if you're unfamiliar with these, and if you don't have DraftKings, apologize, or hit up your homie who has DraftKings. You can be partners in that sense. The points, I haven't done them with the points, to be honest. I haven't found much value in those. It's more like rebound. It's the smaller level props that I feel better with these close spreads. But I don't want to take this. Like, this is so close. This is an even bet to me between MPJ and Karl Towns points. MPJ and Rudy points, same deal. Although, yeah, they're even closer because it's -1.5. So same deal. And then Jokic and Edwards, I kind of like Ant in this one. I don't see the value in it. My homie Nate likes over 59.5 combined. I don't really want to bank on that. They've only done that twice in this series out of the 5 games where they both had enough points to get 60 at the same time. Obviously, something like even when Ant had 40 the other night, Jokic had like 20 or whatever. So it didn't hit it. But yeah, so the points I stay away from a bit more. The rebound, this is once again a toss-up for sure. There's nothing with Jokic and Rudy that gives me comfort, although Rudy has been out-rebounding Jokic in the series. And then for Cat and MPJ, yeah, I don't that just right off bat, nothing that stands out to me there. I don't think these change much, even with Mike Conley. So that's kind of annoying. I see Murray as assisting more in this game, to be honest, but yeah, and Mike's at a half. It's not worth it at minus 115. The threes, Jamal and Mike, I kind of like Mike a little bit more there, but nothing stands out to me there. MPJ, Mike Conley on the threes. Nah. Because I do think Ant, this is probably a look. Ant to have more threes tonight than MPJ. Like you can say he might have a bounce back game, but I like Ant threes already. So that probably is my favorite so far. Yeah. I think the Ant threes over MPJ is a good look. If we what I was looking at with hell yeah, bro. Come join the stream. I'm gonna send that to Dap. But yeah, I think for let me share this real quick. For the threes right there, yeah, I'm kind of into the that Ant's going to have more than MPJ in this game. So keep that in mind. Let me send this real quick to the homie and keep it moving. But we'll get Daft in here once he's back. So chipper in the morning, is he? Let me get a couple other things done real quick to update this. Stand by with me. I'm going to hit that, though. I'm going to hit Ant to hit more than that more threes in this one and get plus 105 on it over MPJ. That's going in there. I'm gonna put that up before I do anything else. That's going on the bottom line under bets, so not leans. We're taking Ant over, or it's minus half. So he's basically saying he has to hit one more three than MPJ. So minus over MPJ. Cool. Hope that's obvious, but that's plus 105 on DK. And I like that a lot. So I'm going to take that for 0.5U. That's on there. Scrolling on the bottom line. Let me get one more thing done real quick. Find this. Stand by. All right. All right. There we go. Got that done for when the homie's on. All right, got Daft in there. All right, keep it moving. So that's, yeah, I really like the head-to-head stuff here. So I was looking at that one. The threes is the play. That's on the bottom line. Let's look at Conley. So obviously Conley, you got to decide if you think he's healthy. So I'm back on props.cash right now. And I'm going to Mike's stuff. The 10.5 is annoying for a dude that takes as many shots as him once again, because it's right around 10 shots per game. This is like TJ McConnell stuff right here, except for Mike Conley can hit threes. So it's actually a better bet for him probably. But what do you think is going to happen for Mike Conley? Because for me, I do like the assists, but they're too high. Oh, they're at 5.5 now. They were at 6. Yeah, it's mostly 6.5. You can get a 5.5 if you want to get minus 144. I don't know if I'm into that. I like that he's hit 6 in all of them, but that ain't enough for me. And this is including the Phoenix game. And he missed. So he's done this pretty much every time in the playoffs, right? Now, if you look at this season in the playoffs, he's played the 9 games in these playoffs. No, 8 games, excuse me, because he missed one. And he's gone over the 5.5. Obviously, the 6.5 you would get hooked if you take it even for plus money here on 2 of these. But on all the others, he's gone over the 6.5. The potentials for Mike, I'm gonna look at those real quick. Oh, they're all the way up here. 11. So he's at 10.4. To get 7 is asking a lot, even for the plus money. The reason that I would like the assist, and I do like the assist a bit more than anything else, and you can take the rebounds if you want. He only went under once. 2.5 is still not bad. So the RA at 8.5 is actually pretty nice. Is the best price minus 130? Yeah, because it's gone up to 9.5 on DK. So you got to take 8.5 for minus 130. The rebound chances are not going to be high. I'll tell you that right now. Mike's getting rebounds that are just sort of left there for him. 6.1 ain't bad, though, to get 3. I would say 50% is a decent rebound chance percentage if he gets 6, which has been his average. That feels like the right number to get 3. So I still think actually the RA is still the play for Mike, isn't it? Because the reason I like the assist is what I was telling you is like, and I do want to find one of these. I had to X out of it, but if you watch the tape, like I was saying, what happened in the last game was Ant Edwards gets doubled. He passes it to the wing. It doesn't come back to him. If Mike Conley's running the off-ball guard for Ant, 1, he's actually going to be better as a point guard to help Ant get open off-ball. 2, when Mike Conley is off-ball and Ant has the ball, he makes that pass to Mike Conley. That pass is coming back to Ant. as many times as it's not. And it barely ever went back to him last game. It was like NAW being like, all right, well, now what do I do? It was like, well, that dude's shouldn't be your point guard. They had to get Monty Morris minutes, who they haven't even been giving any minutes to, because of that. Right? Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. Monte Morris. Yeah. So my main point is like NAW can't play the point for them and expect Ant to be able to work off of that. So I still like assist because I think Mike Conley will either make that pass back to Ant for the dime, or he'll be able to then take advantage of the imbalanced offense and get those assists. So the more I talk about, the more I like the rebounds and assists. What I don't like is the juice you have to drink. Unless you take 9.5 for him, which he's also done more often than not, is the 9.5. I think I'd rather just play a little bit of the 9.5. I'm just going into DraftKings directly to see about the rebounds and assists for Mike Conley. So I go down to assists and rebound. Yeah, 9.5 or plus 114. I'd rather sprinkle on that, to be honest, than just take such bad juice for that, because I do like his stuff this game. I think assists will be there for him. And the rebounds, it's something he's already been doing, getting involved. So, of course, he's a bit hurt. So you got to understand how hurt he actually is, in which case it's like, dude, just take the assists for 7. Oh, man. Yeah, the 8.5 is a pretty key number to get the advantage on combining these together, like what I was just talking about. So I'm just going to put him in there as a sprinkle for, like I said, what I like here more is just to take the 9.5 and get a little bit better juice. But that's going to remain a lean for me for right now. I'm trying to be a little bit conservative here. All right, this is how I would play Conley, is over 9.5 RA. That's plus 114 DK. That's how I would play that if you are playing Mike Conley stuff. All right, keep it moving. Because once again, I can't just be filling up my card going crazy over here, bro. We need to get back in the green a little bit. All right, looking at KCP next. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Good look, Flo Farrell. Yeah, that's a good look at 8.5. So if you get that for anything with decent juice, then you're in a good spot. Let's see. All right, good. I didn't miss anything yet. Yeah, if you're talking about Ant, Ant being the top 3-point shooter, I think that's a good look too for him to make the most threes. It's always like going to be a little bit questionable when there's, a random ass like KCP 4 threes game. But if you tie if you tie with somebody else, I think you chop it and you get some of your money back. I have to actually look at that actually. Yeah, I feel you on the Conley assist juice, but I would say like that's a good point. If you took like 5 plus assists for Mike and put him in a parlay, I think that's a pretty good look. Let me get the homie from down under up in the stream for a second. Give me one sec. Even got his logo still up for him. What's up, brother?
What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. Let's go.
Giving you the most in-depth preview you're going to see today. How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. Pretty excited. I'm glad there's one game on today because I've been streaming 2 games a day for a week, and it's by the second game I'm like falling asleep.
Feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to take a nap. What's good? Real quick, can I ask, why do they call you the COVID King?
Because even when I had COVID, I was still pushing out content like sick as a dog, and I was hitting too. I was banging winners. So
love that for you, bro. Love that for you.
Who gonna stop me, huh?
Not COVID, that's for sure. Can I get your opinion real quick on my Mike Conley stuff before I ask you for your bets?
Let's go. I had similar thoughts on that actually. The rebounds and assists, tried to play that in the last game before he's out injured, and my thought process was around that. I assumed his shoulder might be a little bit banged up, so that fall that he had in game 4 or 5 when he fouled Christian Brown under the ring, I was like, he old as shit. Like he older than me. Like I wouldn't play for weeks after that.
Right.
And I just assumed his PRA, his numbers look great. But then I was like, the shooting might be off, so I lent heavily towards the rebounds and assists, and ultimately he didn't play.
Right.
Then coming into this game, the line actually moved down a little bit. This was at 9.5 in the game prior.
Yeah.
That's come down. You can get it at 8.5. Juice to the gills, as you said.
Yeah.
Definitely the way that I'd be leaning. I didn't take any bets on Mike Conley given his status, but it's something I'll probably look at before the game starts. So I'm with you there.
Yeah, I didn't play it, and I just put it as a lean, which I'm sticking to a little bit more now because I'm going to play these bets when I put them out there like that. So like there's a difference between my card and what I would lean towards. So I'm like we both talk about, like trying to help people. Like if you're asking me about it, no, I'm not betting it. But if you're keen on betting it, then here's how I would bet it. And that's it, right? Do with that what you will. But that's what I'm doing here for Conley. I do think the 8.5 is it's like noticeably nicer. And maybe it's only because this 9 is hanging right there. But like between the 9 and the 8 right here, it's like, look, he's going to bump up against it. And every little, assist or rebound that you can get in your favor, like 8.5 rather than 9.5, I do like. But like I said, I hate the -130. It doesn't feel enough to play him to get 9. But I really think, like I was saying earlier, I really think that he's going to be he's going to have the ball in his hands a good amount. And it's just a matter of, is he going to go right back to Ant? Or is he going to then go and do whatever? But that's why even PRA in general or PA or whatever, like him to have the ball in his hands and do stuff, right? Mike Conley to get touches is what I'm banking on. What he does with those, I do think it's likely that he's going to assist a lot, whether it's facilitating going to the rim and lobbing it up to Rudy, which they missed so noticeably last game, or get it back to Ant, because that's what I was noticing is Ant did not get the ball back when he made the pass out of the double team, because NAW is not a point guard, plain and simple. Nobody out there was making sure to get him the ball back. I think Mike Conley will do that more in this game. Did you have a bet on Ant?
Before I get to Ant, can I interest you in a little pivot for Mike Conley?
Please.
So if you do a same game parlay and you take Mike Conley for 5.5 assists, 1.5 rebounds, plus 110.
Okay. So where can I get the 5.5 for Conley again?
That's just his normal assist line, the one that's juiced to the max.
Yeah, it's -150 here.
Yeah.
What is it on DK real quick? That's a good point. It's just like mixing it up and taking some all unders in both areas.
Yeah.
Putting them together. So yeah, it's 5.5 is on DK. So you take for him to get 6 basically, right? And then take the rebounds.
Can you get alternate boards on that?
You got to do it on. So I got to do it on DK. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't get all rebounds. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For Mike Conley,
DK looks very similar to the app that I use.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So 1.5. You're saying take over 1.5.
Yes.
So it's plus 102 here, but yeah, on DK, you're saying it's probably much more similar. If we look at so assists for Mike, we can do. So we have to do 5+.
Right.
So we might get juiced a little bit, and then the rebounds. And I have to do same game parlay. Sorry, hold on. It's really annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is. But even that FanDuel one, it's a good pivot to take, because when you look at Mike Conley's numbers, the reason why when he over exceeds on this rebounds plus assists, it's normally the assists that are skyrocketing, whereas the rebounds are pretty consistent. 2, 3, and 4 is what you can expect. Whereas his assist, when he blows up on assist, that blows the whole RA out. So locking in 5.5, saying, yeah, I'm really confident in the 5.5. And then if you look at his rebound numbers, he just needs 2 to fall his way. Yeah. And if he's getting 30 minutes, it'll just fall in his lap.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Brill, mate. You guys say that right? Brill instead of brilliant?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's British. My bad.
Depending on where you're from in Australia, your language is very different. So where I'm from, you would say that's fucking hectic.
That's because you're from the hood, though, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. And you played that?
I'm playing it right now.
That's daft, man. That's smart. I like that. I'm gonna put that in here. We get some daft looks in here. Thank God. Thank God you saved us on Mike Conley. That's a smart play. So on FanDuel, you can get over 5.5 rebs still, and I think that just went juiced in our favor. But yeah, we got it to plus 105 because the rebounds or the assists rather at 5.5 just got bumped to about -140 instead of -150. Yeah, -142 now. So we're at plus 105. Yeah, I want to play that too now. I really like that. That's how I feel about Mike Conley.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, nice pivot, brother. Just unearthing over here. All right, Conley over 5.5 parlayed with over. Oh, this is the assists. My bad. Assists and then over 1.5 rebounds. Wow, that is sexy. Plus,
just say it. That's fucking hectic.
Yeah, that's fucking hectic, mate. Yeah, I love that. All right, good. Let's see here. I'll take that off. That's a really good look. All right, I'm putting that on my bottom line as well, but I got Daft stuff up here, and he gets all the credit once this hits. You guys know that. This is why, people helping people, man.
That's what it is.
Because I've been cold the last couple of days. I don't know if you heard that part.
Man, I've been cold longer than that.
Damn.
You can cut ice on these nipples over here.
Yep. Preach, bro. Preach. Yeah, that's a good look. I love that. All right, cool. Let's keep it moving here. Unless, did you want to go into someone?
You asked me about Anthony Edwards.
I did.
So I did look into him, and last night on my stream, on my video, I was talking about I'm not going to take it until the Conley news is out. Because I think the common narrative is facing elimination, he's going to go over.
Yeah.
Pretty much is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But you're making that sound like he didn't want to go over the last time. Like, he definitely wanted to go over every game.
Nah, he didn't really want. Nah, some games he doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. I, apart from that one game where he openly admitted his mindset wasn't right.
Right.
But outside of that, he's been wanting to go over. So I don't think the mindset is the reason to take the bet. It's going to come down to how Minnesota adjusts. And this is where I think the lack of experience in the coaching staff and the players is going to come in, because Denver adjusted extremely well to the shit Minnesota was throwing at them. They made their own adjustments, and Minnesota hasn't been able to bounce back. That's all it is. They've won all 3 games by an average of 10, 12 points at least. Like, Minnesota hasn't been able to adjust. So it comes down to they haven't been able to adjust and account for the Joker. He's killing them in every which way. So he's figured them out. And I heard you say that earlier. And now the question is, are they able to adjust and get Anthony Edwards the looks that he wants? So they were camping the paint and leaving Jaden McDaniels wide open the whole time. They're camping the paint. They're blitzing on screens. They're throwing doubles at him. Like, they're making it difficult. And this is why it's tough to win a ring as a guard as your best player, because they're easy to scheme for. Whereas you got someone like Jokic, there's no man alive that can defend that guy.
He's the perfect hybrid of that, though, right? He's few and far between. I think the adjustments, and here's, I'm not disagreeing with you necessarily, which I don't think neither of us are afraid to disagree with each other. But more importantly, I watched the tape. So beyond Ant gonna Ant tonight, right? Like, Ant go Ant. Okay, totally get it. I do think last game there was a bit of, it's not that he didn't want to, it's that he didn't know what to do in the moment, the way that they would leave guys there. To be fair to him, there's 2 things. One is against him. One is to be fair to him. Against him, he didn't do a good job of passing and demanding the ball back. He passed it, and then he basically looked like James Harden and was like, all right, well, let me just go over here for a minute, and I'll just go chill over by the scorer's table and just watch 4-on-4 play out. Right. He did that, and not going, okay, now let me cut away from something. Let me screen away, and then, or anything. There was nothing. There was just loafing and being pissed. Right. So I think that's his adjustment is you call for the ball. The other adjustment is Mike Conley's back. So Mike Conley does make sure he gets the ball, because that's his first outlet, right? And Mike isn't going to be like, well, I have to feed Ant the ball, but he is going to know that he has to make sure that he stays involved, even if he makes that pass off. So Mike Conley will be the one who either, like I said, takes it and goes to the basket and tries to drive, pulls the 3 because he's open, or waits for the defense to shift towards him, then pass it back to Ant and go back. So that's going to benefit Ant. The one thing about his attitude, though, is he did tell the ball boy at the Nuggets game, I'll see you in game 7, when he was walking off the court. That's baller as hell. So
he didn't say it to another player, though.
Yeah, it was to a player. It was to a player. He had probably just got done jawing with Jamal Murray, though, to be fair. Like, they were at it all game. So did you fade him, or you just stayed away from Ant?
No, I just stayed away from it. I just wanted to wait for the Conley news, because part of that last game was so difficult was no Mike Conley. If he's your primary ball handler, then it was easy to put that scheme on him. But now that Conley is in, I was thinking if Conley is in, then I'm definitely leaning towards the over. If he is out, I don't know if he can get busy enough off the ball to get the shots and looks that he wants.
Yeah. So we're saying the same thing there.
Yeah.
Which is Conley helps him get the points. They actually went up. So the books either agree or somebody came in heavy as soon as Conley was ruled in. And then that moved because DK took it down. So somebody got spooked because DK literally took all of the props down for like 30 minutes. It was probably like 6 a.m. your time or something. But it was like they came in, took it down, and it was like, whoa, that's
like, hold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're like, we don't know what we're doing. Take it all down. We're about to get boofed. So
But with the Conley news, the other lean I had was
go ahead.
if there's no Conley, let's hammer his assists. If
Mhm.
Conley is in, we can look at Ant overs or under in his assists.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
didn't
that
go.
line's still at 6.5. It may have moved.
It went down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest noticeable difference in Mike Conley versus no Mike Conley is Ant assists go up by like 2 almost when he's out. And that's just in a normal game, not considering the way that
You're
they
on
get.
boards, by the way.
What's that?
You're on boards.
Oh, my bad. That was 5.5. Okay. It's 6.5 still. Oh, okay.
Right.
But
But
it's
now
juiced
it's
to the
moved.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it did drop to 5.5 in some spots. It's just minus 150 to take the over there. And I think what you're going to see from Ant is more secondary assists. That's what I keep bringing up about Mike Conley is like, if anything, Mike is going to get the first pass and then he'll get the assist. And then you get the hockey assist, which does nothing for your stats. As far as a side goes, I don't know if you looked at that, but Tayon brought that up. So I at least wanted to look at it for a minute. Or at least ask you if you did anything with the side or total on this one.
No, but I did made a commitment in my Discord yesterday that if the Nuggets are still at plus 110 by tip off, I'm taking it.
Oh, as on the money line.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a commitment that you made.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was feeling myself last night. I don't normally bet money line and sides and stuff, but I thought
I like it. No, I like it. I didn't take anything for the side in this one either. I was considering a sprinkle on the Timberwolves to lead at the half, the Nuggets to win the game. That was plus 550. So obviously that's pretty specific there, but I like to go to those sometimes when you think a team can really just sort of take over at some point. Then that would be third quarter Nuggets. Also, like the Nuggets money line in the third quarter is a look in that trying to get ahead of it. Didn't play that, but too many things, dominoes need to fall in the exact spot for you to be able to hit that. But either way, did you want to throw anything else at us before I go back to the up next stuff?
No,
pretty much everybody on there.
Just strong lean to the overs on his points, under on assists, but I'm assuming that point sign has moved a lot since it first opened up. So
I believe so.
I might just put a little bit on him for 40, but
yeah, I know. He's at no, he's still at 29.5. So it was 30.5 in some spots. It's back down to 29.5. In fact, it's juiced now to the like you can take minus 105 for over 29.5 on FanDuel. I got it at minus 102 when I took it. I like the threes for him more than anything. I think 2.5 is like something he's very capable of doing. He's done it 3 out of the 5. More importantly, when he's taken 8, he's gone. It goes over. Like if he takes 8, he's going to make 3. That's usually what's going to happen. So for pretty good, it was minus 120 for that. But that's also been on the bottom line for y'all. If you haven't seen that yet, was that I like the threes more. I took the points for a half a unit. I took the threes for the full unit there for Ant. So let's get in real quick. KCP I don't do much with usually. There's nothing that gives me an edge to his stuff, but I mean he obviously went bonkers last game. He was 4 for 5 last game. So that's where I get a little bit nervous. Did you have a play for him at all and his importance?
I didn't have a play on it. I was close to that. I had a very strong lean on the under in his points. And my reason being is he had such a great game in that last one. And it has nothing to do with how Minnesota are going to play defense. But if you check his games throughout the playoffs, he hasn't put a game like that back to back.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
And I was more looking through, like, that's clearly an outlier for him to get 16.
Right.
I know the line's at 7.5, but it's one of those no sweat things. Like he's not getting close or he's going to kill it. Right.
Right.
So I had a strong lean to the under, but I was trying to practice some discipline and only have 2 players on this game. So I've got 3 now because the Mike Conley thing, but hey, let's go. I tried.
You tried. Mom, I tried. Oh, yeah. This is how you get into gambling addictions. But no, I'm with you on that. Our Mike Conley bet is so fucking sexy. Like, who cares if we have a gambling problem? I agree that it just comes back to regression, normal regression for a dude. If he's gone, like you said, no sweat. He needs the threes, I'm pretty sure. Let me look at the threes real quick because I'm pretty sure he needs those. Yeah, so
it's percentages too. He just needs to shoot a good percentage. The games he goes over, he shoots over 50. The games he goes under, he shoots less because his volume doesn't change too much.
Right. So I'm going to see this is something I was looking at yesterday too, which I think is a good way to look at stuff when you're talking about threes versus not. This is just the playoffs that I've got this filtered towards, but I've got points up and I want to see how many times he goes over when he hits one or fewer threes, right? It's like, how important is the three going in for him to score? So this is 3-pointers made. I'm going to bring the filter down to 1 or none. So he's done it once where he's gotten the points without getting the threes. My main point is just like, you can go under and either, to be honest with you, when they're set at this number. If he doesn't get 2 threes, he's not getting 8 points. If he does. He does. So either way, however you want to play it, is fine by me. But I think it's, 6, 1/2 dozen the other, whatever the saying is there for KCP. It's a pass for me too. I think it's a little bit, it's just a 50-50 play that I don't have an edge on for KCP. There's no indication that he's going to have more or fewer touches necessarily each game. It's just going to be like, is he open on the outlet or not? And if he is, did he make it? Because he airballed a wide open 3 in the last game. That was his only miss, but it didn't touch anything. So it makes you a little nervous. I do want to bring up Reggie real quick. Reggie's entirely dependent on Jamal to me, because at this point, Reggie's minutes have just gone straight downward while Christian Brown's have gone upward. Right.
So 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. If that. He played 6 last game, right? For Reggie. So you see Christian's numbers go up right here in terms of the minutes, and that's directly correlated. I have to go all the way back up. But in this series right here, he started at 19 just because in that first game, like whatever. I actually don't even know why he played 19. He only played 10 in the next one. I think they probably want to play him. And then the last 2, they were like, screw 19 minutes. Let's get him to 25 and 28. Right. Because he's now been the best helps or primary or help defender on Ant. And actually the primary for the most time for the last 2 games. That's how. So his minutes seem pretty safe at this point, which means Reggie's are not. But if Jamal can only go 32 or 30, then Reggie's on the floor for a little bit more. That's my diatribe to start. What's your story?
I think with Christian Brown, he's taking some of Michael Porter Jr.'s closing minutes because MPJ's been trash. So totally. I think I was on Popcorn Machine. I had a look, and I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. But
I can even just show you from last game. MPJ played 7. Christian Brown played all 12.
Yeah.
And if you want to look at popcornmachine.net, we can. But I know Michael Porter Jr. was not in there to end the game.
Yeah. So, who are we talking about, Reggie or Christian?
Honestly, either. But let's start with Reggie. Because I want to talk about Reggie through the lens of, do you think Jamal's minutes go down at all this game? And
Jamal's minutes are trending up.
Okay, so you don't think that? I thought I saw that he was like still a little bit hobbled, more so than like the ability to be 100%. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, he is. But I think if you look at Jamal Murray and you just check his minutes out, I think you'll see they're trending up, whilst Reggie Jackson's are trending down each game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so his are on the up. Reggie Jackson's are going down.
Right.
But Reggie Jackson might be a popular play these days for this game, because if you just base his numbers off the last 10, everything's green, right? So everyone's going to be like, oh, this is a good play. It's hitting so consistently.
Right.
So that's why people will be looking at it. And 3.5 is a nice number to bet on for points. You just need 2 buckets. It's very simple. And he's not afraid to take his shot. But I did consider it, but I'm not going to bet on a guy who'll probably play 8 minutes.
Yeah. And if I was going to take it, I would have just needed to do what I did yesterday with guys like Strus and Garland, which is like, oh, well, Donnie's probably not going to play. Once Jared Allen was ruled out, I was like, let me go ahead and hit this 19.5 for Donnie, Darius Garland at like, it was even money.
Yeah.
Little did I know he was going to miss layups and threes like it was his job. But more importantly, like, it still wasn't regrettable because it worked with Strus. I got Strus for plus 122 to make 3 threes, which was like, he's going to take 9 if Donnie's not in there. Yeah, that's right. You're in the video yesterday. So anyway, like, this is the same thing with Reggie. I missed the boat where if I was going to do it, well, then just take it at plus money earlier this morning. It was like plus 105. I didn't take it. So I kind of have to, I guess I'm leaning now off of it as opposed to just leaning into it. Right. And I would agree with you. That's why he just kind of stays there for me now where he's at and can't go past that with Reggie. Reggie to hit 1 or 2 threes, that's a complete 2 threes. You better be getting like plus 20 or plus 200 or better. But for him to hit 1 3 is the definition of a 50-50 bet to me. I don't want him to bank on that. What about Christian Brown, though?
I considered him too, but then I was like, yeah, he's seen an uplifted minutes in his last 2. Can we guarantee that? Because one thing that might stop him, right, is what if Michael Porter Jr. breaks out of this funk?
Yeah.
Then you probably don't see the same minutes.
Yeah.
So a lot of these are correlated. So I was a little
True.
bit hesitant. Like there are certain players who, regardless of what happens, they're going to get their time, their opportunities.
Yeah.
Whereas trying to find an edge, and I know we are gambling, but
Yeah.
yeah, if MPJ plays well, which he's due to break out any minute now,
Yeah.
then that could limit Christian Brown's opportunities, I think. So
Yeah, I tried to I tried to predict him getting out of that funk because I like to do it when they go back home, especially. Like it seemed like the perfect game. He just took 2 threes last game. There's no way he's taking less than 5 in the next game, and it was plus money for him to get 3 made. He took 7. If you go back through and watch the game like I did, there's like 3 good looks and 4. Well, Michael's just shooting because he wants to shoot and he wants to make sure he gets his shots off, right? And he's frustrated that he can't get his shot off. So now he's going to take a bad shot to get it off. Well, now we're coming back to the road, and it's like maybe he sees his first one go in, and then it doesn't matter that he's on the road. But he's made 1.5 more threes at home in the playoffs than he has on the road in his career, not just this playoffs. So it's like I'm almost like, well, if the Wolves win this game, I'm for sure betting him again when he goes home to hit over 2.5. If he doesn't hit 3 in this game, it'll probably be plus money again. So that's why I'm off of the MPJ stuff. I don't want to use that to then be like, well, that means Christian Brown's going to play. But I will say that if you consider that Christian Brown's been the primary defender on Ant for 2 games in a row now, and they happen to be the 2 games that he went 25 and 28 minutes. That's why I immediately went to the rebounds, because being on the floor for defensive reasons doesn't mean that you're going to get shots on the other end of the floor unless it's within the flow of the offense, which while I'm talking and on this ramble, like if any team is going to like give it to role players within the flow of the offense, it's the Nuggets, right? Because they'll be wide open and Jokic will make sure they get a layup. So that would be it. But like the points I stayed away from because of the shot attempts, right? 11 and 10 is great, but what do you shoot? Like 4 for 5, and
his percentages were really high, and
really
that's
high.
not sustainable.
And they're high at times because he is getting dunks and layups because he's cutting to the basket, and that's been awesome and effective. I don't know if I want to bet on this game, so I ended up staying away from him. If I'm going to play Christian Brown, I can put this down on the sheet as a lean, probably PR or just the points at this point. I think it's still 6.5. Yeah, 6.5, and it's still pretty close to even money. So the fact that he took 8 shots last game, I'm not banking on that. I think 4 to 5 is what you bank on, in which case, well, I need him to hit too much, just too much. So 8 shots isn't guaranteed because he's going to get 25 to 28 minutes, just like maybe the rebounds, but then those got juiced up. So this is a long-winded way of saying I was really into the rebounds for Christian Brown at 2.5. I got it earlier this morning at that, and now it's gone. So I'm just off Christian Brown basically.
He's also made a 3-pointer in 3 straight games, which
will help you get to your points.
Yeah. But then on the season, he only hits a 3-point in 53% of the games. Like it's,
for sure. Yeah. Conley's a go deuce because Daft joins the stream and uses big brains to help us get that bet up.
Hood mathematics, baby.
Yes, right. Hood math, baby. I've been saying that a lot. I totally ripped you off on that. But you made the joke on this stream, so like I just kind of took it.
We can share it. That's fine.
All right, yeah. Obviously, you should be using that. But that's also yesterday. Kelsey was on the stream, and she comes from time to time, and she was like, we were talking about something. She was like, too much math, and I was like, it's all good, Kels. It's hood math out here, you know. Let's see. The next dude I was gonna look at. I'm gonna skip over MPJ for a minute because I feel like you kind of got our takes on it. Someone wanted to look at the rebounds. It's been a bit of a crapshoot this series on the boards, to be honest. He's been guarding a lot of guards and then standing out and not getting those easy ones. Normally, like they one more thing, Denver hasn't been going into zone like they have at other times. Now, there's times where off of the inbounds pass, they will play zone on the inbounds. And then they stay in it for a couple possessions or a possession or whatever. And on those zones, Michael Porter Jr. plays on the baseline. And then he gets but Jokic is manhandling Gobert. I just get this easy, uncontested.
Weak side boards,
the Josh Hart special. Right. So, and he loves to pad his stats. I like betting on guys that love to go pick up that loose ball for their rebounding stats. And that's Michael Porter Jr. Like, look, I can do more than shoot threes. I can get, harmless rebounds. But that hasn't been there quite as much, man. So I can't get next to that. And there's only one game where he's even had, was it 9 rebound chances last game? Just trying to see again. Or 15 last game. Yeah. But that was also what I was saying earlier. miss shots from the T-Wolves. They go back home. Role players make more shots, right?
Yeah.
Not as sexy of a situation with MPJ on the rebounds. I'm predicting that if he doesn't do well this game, he does well next game. I'm not trying to get ahead of it. It is plus 112 now. Just keeps going up. Really trying to. I'm just like, getting hooked.
Reeling you in.
Mm-hmm. Looking like a fish out here. Don't get reeled in. 7 cents more. Not gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Quincy wants to know do you know who his matchups are real quick?
No, I was just thinking that. Who is defending MPJ? Because I think who's MPJ defending? Sorry.
Vice versa, yeah.
Yeah, vice versa is what I was thinking, because
he's on offense here in this last game. You got JMD is what I've been calling him, which is interesting because he's not locked. So because Nickeil Alexander-Walker started, they could put him on Jamal and put JMD on Michael Porter Jr. I'm gonna go to the other game though, real quick. Game 4 and see when we had Mike Conley in the starting lineup and not NAW. Was that still the case? So MPJ offense.
Well, why don't you deep diving in that? I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
What does Minnesota do to limit the Joker? Because I think that opens, depending on what they do, could open things up for the rest of the Denver Nuggets.
I know.
The thing is, they don't double much. They just let him go one-on-one the whole time.
Well, the play is Cat is one-on-one, but Gobert is weak side help. That's what they're trying to do. They've been dicked out of that move by Michael Malone and Aaron Gordon, to your point, right? Aaron Gordon's like, okay, you guys want to do that? Well, I'm no longer going to stand in the corner, because what his play was before was I stand in the corner, Jokic comes to the middle, everyone collapses on him, I go baseline, lob dunk. Right. Now it's like, okay, well, I can't do that because then I leave Rudy in the best place to help on Jokic. So now I go up top. I don't know. Like, I don't know. When I watched this last game 5, and I was like, okay, I can see how Ant can play better. I can see how Aaron Gordon can keep doing what he's doing, to be honest. And a couple other things. I could see how Mike Conley being in there would have been so helpful in and of itself. All those things I could see as like potential adjustments from the coach. And I don't know what the hell you're supposed to do with Nikola Jokic. Like, my favorite tweet from yesterday was like somebody actually defending Rudy, being like, yo, nobody talked trash on Gary Payton when Michael Jordan just waxed him. Like, you got to give Rudy a little bit of a break, right? He's playing the Michael Jordan of this era. Like, I don't know. So I do you have anything for that?
No, that's what I was trying. Well, I think I don't have the recipe. Like, if the Minnesota coaching staff is watching this, I don't have the recipe. But what I'm thinking is, are you not better off limiting Jokic to 20, even if he gets 15 assists? Are you not better? Because he 40 and 13. Yeah. So,
that's why I lean towards his assists, to be honest, for Jokic tonight. Is like, if you go down with him doing that to you, don't you just kind of look bitch made, right? Like, you can't, you can't go out like that. And you can't guard him one-on-one. There were so many players where I was like, great defense, Rudy. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter,
Doesn't matter. So when you have that level of
I took a Jokic bet, actually. I took him for the most assists, minus 108 in this game.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to play it. And that would mean I think he would need like 9. And to like
which is his line, but I got better odds.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. That's a good look. And so real quick, just to finish the point though about Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., they put JMD on Michael Porter Jr. on purpose now for 2 games in a row. Those are the 2 games that he's had his worst 3-point shooting so far. So they clearly are just stopping MPJ from going off by keeping McDaniels on him, which means even if Jokic is doubled or they do send more guys, it's probably not going to be the guy who's guarding Michael Porter Jr., who's their most dangerous 3-point shooter, right? So I think that would be my guess. Now, this is all guesswork, so it's not enough for me to go like, here's what I feel confident in because of this, bit of information. It's just my projection would be, doesn't matter who needs to double Jokic. It's not the guy guarding Porter Jr. That would be the conversation. So I'm off of that with the threes there for MPJ for this game. I'm not going to take the bait and move past that. The other stuff that I had up real quick, and real quick, also, can you drop in the chat of on the comments the link? You're watching on playback tonight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. It's a good time in there. I'll try to drop by. I'm still freaking swamped. I'm capping MLS, dude.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm getting paid to write articles about it. Otherwise, I would not be. All right. You know how I feel about the rebounds for our boy MPJ as well, which is That's a crapshoot. Now, granted, it's going to be one game of big rebounds. Everyone's going to hit it tonight because they just saw him do it, and then he's going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to have all the fish in my comments tell me I'm an idiot for not taking MPJ rebounds, but I'll be okay with that because over time, that's not a good bet.
I took it in the last game, and I feel like I got lucky, so I don't want to do it again.
I love that feeling when you're just like, oh man, I just stole this money. Let me just take it and run and not give it right back, right? All right, you're the cat whisperer. Did you hear me W that when you were watching earlier?
I did actually. I was in the whip still.
The cat whisperer.
What have I got? I'm looking at the under 20.5 points.
Okay,
this game's too big. He doesn't go back to back on games like this. His like that injury he had, I was like, he's done. The next 6 months he's going to be out for, right? The way that he was acting. And then 5 minutes later, he was fine, right?
Yeah.
That limp only came up whenever he missed a shot and I was like, God, this is so frustrating to watch. Then he goes to play the whole game. And if you watch him walk off the court, I'm surprised they didn't bring out the wheelchair for him. Like,
I hate him, dude.
I hate him too. And now I'm like, he sucks. I'm going the under. It was the first bet that I picked. I even put it on the thumbnail. I picked him for the thumbnail because that's what I like the most. I took the under 20.5.
All right, hold on. I got to look at something that Free Sauce brought up, which is Cat. Everything you said just made me so angry. Karl-Anthony Towns.
At home, he's ass.
At home.
Because I think the home fans hate him too, right?
I have a couple Minnesota Timberwolves friends, and interesting. He's worse at home this season. Let's see if it was the playoffs, if there's any difference.
I think if you look at just his game log at home.
Yeah, I can look at it in there. This is just the easy split.
You want to see the averages?
Yep. Yeah. So just I can see the game logs, but also just the splits are nuts in the playoffs specifically. It's a 9-game sample size, but that was also the case during the regular season. Was 3 more points per game on the road than at home. So I think Free Sauce is trying to help us understand that the home fans actually dislike Cat more than the away fans. I've made that joke earlier, which is like the best 5 players on the court for the Denver Nuggets includes Karl-Anthony Towns being on the court because of how much he fouls and is a dipshit on offense sometimes. Like, last game was a good game.
I heard it was it's like minus 150 for Cat to foul someone at half court.
Damn. That would be amazing if you could get that. Someone was trying to give the over-under on his fouls in the chat earlier, and I was like, bro, if you find that market, please, by all means. He's American Luka in a sense, honestly. It's like, Luka, you just shouldered him in the face. Why are you complaining? Like, I'm so annoyed. Let me look at Cat during the regular season, too, because Free Sauce just said he hasn't scored over 19 since February when he's at home. So let me change this to home real quick. And yeah, that would be the case. Last 10 includes that. Let's look at last 15. Yeah, it looks like it was like the very end of February right there. Or it was 24th against Brooklyn, of all teams, who has no power forward. Yeah, and then Nick Claxton was busy with Rudy Gobert. So yeah, I mean, that's a poo-poo defense for sure. So that's an interesting stat right there. I don't always go into home road too much, but that's a pretty stark difference.
It helps.
Like 9. Yeah.
I think if I had to categorize it, my reasons why, number 1, I don't like him. 2 is because I fucking hate him even more than I dislike him. 3, that potential injury, he's going to be carrying that around for ages. Like, he'll talk about it on podcasts when they get eliminated. Like, he's going to play to that.
It's so brutal. I hate the guy who's hurt after a bad play. Like, it happens in soccer more than any sport where the guy just goes down after he fucks up and it's like, dog. All right. Let's keep it moving. I think Cat is a good under there. I had a couple more here that I had up.
Rebounds overs, I don't mind either, though.
On the rebounds over?
Yes.
Yeah. I considered him to get more boards than MPJ as like one of those head-to-head bets you can do on DraftKings. But I ended up staying away from that because I hit a different one that I really liked, which was Ant to have more threes than MPJ.
For sure.
Yeah, that's scrolling on the bottom line just for y'all that don't know. All right, let me
rebound line has moved though.
What has?
I got it at 6.5 at minus 114.
Who's 3-point line?
Rebound line for Karl-Anthony Towns was at 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
I got it at minus 114.
Got it. Yeah, so 7.5 now on some books. You're saying it was 6.5, and it went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rebounds I would also stay away from Cat if I was trying to go under. I mean, 19 rebound chances last game when Denver shot the ball pretty well too, outside of Michael Porter Jr. And he's guarding Joker, and so that means that's a similar concept to OG Anunoby guarding Pascal and getting rebounds, right? He's in the post guarding the post player. All he's got to do is turn around, and if it's short, it's going right to him every time, right? So Cat getting anything that Joker misses when he's the primary defender, knowing Rudy's coming over to help anyway too, so he can focus on getting the boards. Yeah, I'm off the boards. Even if he's at like 11 to 12 rebound chances, he's got a very good success rate on his rebound chances. So I don't need to mess with that. But the points and assists to the under, or just the points, is that what you took?
I took the points, but now that Conley is in, I think the points and assists under could look good. Has his assist line come down? It has 2.5 now. It was at 3.5.
Oh, it's 3.5.
Yeah. When Conley's status was up in the air, it was at 3.5, and I was like, I like the under on this.
Yeah.
But I need to know that Mike Conley's not going to be there, because when Mike Conley was absent, they were blitzing that pick and roll, and it was Cat and Rudy. They both had great assist numbers because they were catching it rolling to the rim and just dropping it off or finding shooters. So
that makes total sense. I was on the Cat unders also before really having the Conley news, which that's what I was going to see real quick on StatMuse is Karl-Anthony Towns with and without Mike Conley this season. I wonder if there's a correlation there.
Yep.
5 games without him, he scores 9 more points.
Yep.
And a 1.3 more assists. So
I didn't even know that
dropped. Yeah, this is a pretty solid illustration of what you're talking about right there, huh? So I would agree with that. The rebounds don't really change. Obviously, with Mike, it doesn't matter. It's really about who he's defending. So yeah, that's the points under great. I don't even need to add 2.5 assists, which you could just like dish the ball off. And the other thing is he's just not in the flow of the offense with Mike Conley because he's not. I mean, Kyle Anderson yelled at him like 3 times yesterday, like, move, like, get out of the way. You're standing right next to Ant, and we would rather have him have the ball. Like, all right, let's stop the cat trash at this point because I'm going to do this the rest of the episode. Let me just touch on 2 more real quick. JMD, I'm off. I've just been so freaking inconsistent. I can't get next to McDaniels overs. I prefer unders, but he's still going to keep playing minutes because he's so freaking good at defense that I'm fine, but even the rebounds hasn't necessarily been there for him. Did you have a look on him? The rebounds was the request for the look, by the way. But
I had a look at him, and on my video, all I could really talk about was if you're playing like daily fantasy and you're going to run 2, 3, 4 men, then his rebounds could be a good look, or his blocks. It's just they're too juiced. Like it's 2.5 his rebounds. It was yesterday, but it was too juiced to play on as a straight bet. But if you need to get them parlays in, then those looks aren't too bad.
And I've been keeping an eye on his rebounds because I went over in the first 2 games. It was like, oh my God, he got 8 and he had like, it was like 16 rebound chances in that game. I was like, okay, great. Here's something I can rely on is a dude who's going to be playing a buttload of minutes because of his defense, and he'll just trip and fall into these rebounds. Such has not been the case since, right?
His line moved up to 4.5 in that second game too. After that first game, it just jumped, and then he's been under ever since. And those chances aren't necessarily there.
4, 5, 5, 6 after 14 in game 1. And now he's guarding Michael Porter Jr., so he's damn well standing outside the 3-point line. So my lean with knowing that matchup change occurred right here in game 4. Like he's no longer just hawkeyeing Jamal Murray. He's now making sure MPJ doesn't shoot Denver to like, a massive lead. Because that's a lot of times how they build those leads is like a couple quick threes from one of these dudes who goes unconscious, and it's usually MPJ. So the rebounds under, if it was at 3.5,
but it's a minus 150 or whatever it is.
Yeah, there's no edge to that for sure. Anything else for him though? I mean,
I think his blocks are relatively consistent.
That was
looking at his steals plus blocks as well.
That was brought up. Minus 184. Steals are half for that. Okay, so maybe we can we do the DAF special that we just ran here? Can we parlay 2 stats together? I don't think they'll let us do blocks and steals. That would be so easy. They know that, right? They're smarter than that. Let's see. Let's get this out of here, actually. JMD minus 220. Can I get his block? Nope.
Oh, damn.
Well, they don't even have blocks on here. What?
The disrespect.
But they give Michael Porter Jr. an all.
What about the very last one that says player blocks? No.
Oh, you can just do Rudy over under. He's
Just
the only
Rudy.
one. Let's go to DK real quick. I'm just checking these two for now. Because one of each, reasonable. Where are they at on here? Where's player defense? Thank you. Player defense. Let me do this. Steals.
And that's the area that the Wolves need to be better at defensively, if anything.
What's that now?
They need to be better defensively. So I'd expect an uplift in some steals and blocks because
I hope so. Let's see. 1+ is 250.
Oh shit, mine doesn't have him either.
Block, I can get steals, I can get 1+.
Oh,
plus 128. You put them together, but he needs to get one of each. You can't get 2 steals the way if you go over 1.5 blocks and steals combined, right?
Yeah, it's nice. I like it, but I'm not. Yeah,
not worth it. Not worth a stack. It's a nice one of these is a nice piece in the in a parlay for sure. But yeah, there's nothing there for me. I rarely play those markets, to be honest, anyway. But let's do the last one here and Dipset, which is Jamal, which we talked about him a little bit. But did you have anything for it?
What did I have for Jamal?
Yeah,
nothing really. Like the minutes are up, but I felt like his lines are pretty sharp. I think I looked at maybe under in his assists. I didn't take it
on Jamal. Yeah.
I
don't know. I was
just because the potential assists aren't there, and they pretty much played him defensively the same way the whole time.
Yeah. Well, he's also not bringing the ball up anymore,
That's
so
right. He's off ball now.
Yeah, but then he still gets involved in the action and is just
always involved.
Yeah,
he's just not making that last pass.
Right. Yeah, he hasn't just been able to find shooters, especially because his best target, MPJ, is just locked up by the guy that used to be guarding Jamal Murray, and is no longer doing that because there's no point in wasting McDaniels on Murray strictly in the half court. You can't tire him out. They're just finding other ways to win. Aaron Gordon, the Aaron Gordon manipulation by Michael Malone has been textbook.
It's a masterclass.
Yeah.
Chestnut checkers.
Yeah, 100%. My favorite Michael Malone moment was that after his technical, he got a technical because Rudy elbows KCP in the face and then hits a shot. Or not, Justin Holiday. And then Michael Malone gets a tech. 3 plays in a row, offensive foul on the court. I was like, if you think that wasn't impacted by whatever, right? If not, maybe not a direct result.
That's up there with J Kidd spilling his water.
I knew what you were gonna say. I knew what you were gonna say because yesterday I finally showed J Kidd some love and was like, you know what? I used to trash him to the ends of the earth. He's a really good defensive coach these days.
Yeah,
really good. He warranted that 4-year extension he got too earlier this at the end of the season. So. For Jamal, I'm under PRA if I'm going anything with him. I think the points he had a bunch of rebounds here.
I was leaning to the under on everything, really.
Yeah.
So the PRA
that's where I'm at right now with him too. In a game where like if this thing gets out of control for the Wolves, which I'm not saying I'm believing in that necessarily, but it is no, this is the champs. Let me not go down that road. Like the champs ain't going to go out where like at the end of the third, they're like, screw it. We give up. We'll just take this one back home and win it. Like they've always shown that when they play like last year, game 6, 125-100 over Phoenix in the last time they played a game 6 on the road. Same concept when they won on the road against the, no, they actually won at home against the Timberwolves because that game went 5. Lakers, they won in 6. Yeah, that was it. The other one on the road. So, I'm not gonna punk the champs here and say that they can't do it, but I definitely lean Jamal. I love the under on the points more than anything. So if you wanted to take the PRA, I'm fine with that too. These 2 overs he got right here. One was points helped get him there. The other one was a bunch of like 13 rebounds and combined. Yeah. So anyway, I think we're good there, bro. I'm gonna move off that. If you guys were talking about Rudy was asked about. Did you have a quick thought on him before I send us out?
I think he finally had a good game, and I'll just leave it at that. I didn't. Yeah. I was going to look at Rudy's assists if Conley was out, but Conley is in, so that doesn't matter anymore.
I like that. I think that's a good call too. Yeah, I'm with you. Unfortunately, we're not going to bet on every single player here. We're being good boys today, so I'm proud of us. Make sure you guys check out Daft. I mean, I think most of the people in here probably know, but obviously puts out projections every day. I'm going to have mine tonight. He'll have his at some weird hour because he lives in Australia, and then they'll be available for you when you wake up, as they always are. And then I'll be back tomorrow whenever Daft is around. He's going to be on here. So we'll be doing this 5:30 p.m. Eastern every day. I'm going to get the video up here on YouTube, and then in the comments, I'll have the final plays that are on the bottom line, and I'll throw Daft's couple plays that he gave us in there as well, including coming by and giving us the Mike Conley SGP for plus 105. Fire. Much appreciated. Be smart tonight, y'all. I'll see you guys in the Discord here in a little bit. Daft is in there too, so if you at him, he'll talk shit right back to you. And yeah, get in there. The last thing is props.cash. If you do want to use it, 25% off. Code LYB24, and then you get 25% off your first month. All right. Happy betting tonight, y'all.
Let's go.
Let's go.